story today that the briefing given to the government at the start of this term, which is independent from the department, prices are going up until 2030. Is that what voters were told when Labor came to power? That's going to be a lot of years of increased prices.
Look, frankly, we are playing catch-up after a decade of pretty problematic and, what is that, I think 22, 23 energy policies that were under the last government. We've got and that is a consequence of that has been a range of old coal-fired power stations that are starting to come off. We need energy getting into
so
it.
8 years is what it'll take to play catch-up. That's the message now.
We've got to keep...
That wasn't the message in 2022.
We know, and the experts show, that the more we can get renewables into the market, more that we can get them into the grid, the cheaper energy will be over the long term, and that's what we're focused on being able to deliver. And generally speaking, we are playing catch-up because of such the inefficiency and the way in which the previous government ran energy policy for this country.
There's a lot of years of catch-up. On the coalition side, the Liberal side, this debate over net zero, I mean, if you go to the next election saying you've scrapped net zero, is that going to be harder to win the election?
Well, Tom, if I just be able to respond to what was said previously, what we've seen come out today is actually quite concerning. It shows that the current reckless renewables at sort of with no alternative plan that Chris Bowen and the Albanese government's doing is actually increasing the cost to consumers. And so where I would like to see the coalition go, and this is where we've already started having the discussions about this, and as a party we're able to actually have those debates and discussions, is to make sure that we are focused on cost to the end user, and we can do that while being focused on reducing emissions. Because what we're seeing now is emissions haven't actually gone down compared to where they were at when we left office. So despite all the investment and all the talk, there's actually no change to the environment.
I guess the issue in the short term, though, is gas is still staying there. Coal's closing because they get very old and inefficient. So the only solution we got last time from the coalition was nuclear, which will take a long time. That's going to take... If you started today, you might be lucky if they're up and running in 15 years. That's the reality, isn't it?
Well, I think that's only part of it. I mean, and we've
But what else would happen in the next 5 years? You know, I'll wave a magic wand, you're the minister. What will you do in the next 5 years to bring down prices?
Well, I think we've said as a coalition that we want to see a balanced mix, and that's what we took to the last election. Now,
You took the last election nuclear, that was a big part of it.
Yeah, and
gas is staying in the system for Labor, we should say. They're not eliminating gas.
That's right, and I think as part of what will come out of the coalition party room in the coming weeks and months is a policy which will include a combination of gas, potentially nuclear and other things as well. So I think we need to have that all balanced approach rather than this all eggs in one basket approach.
There's still people saying we've got to make nuclear part of the mix in that debate. Would it be less prescriptive? Take off the moratorium and see what happens rather than the sort of prescriptive approach last time?
Well, I'd absolutely back in removing the moratorium as the first step. I think that's the first step that needs to be done, and then we can have those conversations about where it goes next.
Okay.
I think Leon hasn't really answered the question because he's been stuck, I think, in a coalition of great division when it comes to where to go next on energy policy and net zero. I just want to point that out, Tom. I don't think he answered your question.